My best friend's mom makes cookies all the time. It's her thing. She loves making cookies, and she makes fantastic cookies. And I've been around their house a lot. I've watched this process happen. I've watched her make cookies numerous times. And every time she puts the cookies in the oven and goes back and checks on them from time to time. Periodically, she looks at them and checks on them. She touches them to make sure they're right. There's a moment when you're baking cookies where they look perfect. They look fantastic. On the outside, they're great. But if you pick one up, they just kind of melt and fall apart. And you'd realize, oh, the cookie isn't actually done. It's not fully developed. You got to let it cook for a little while longer. They look good at first, and then upon inspection, you realize, oh, they're not ready. DK Metcalf is a wide receiver who's about to be drafted in the 2019 NFL Draft. He played at Ole Miss. He's a really interesting wide receiver prospect. And at the NFL Combine, he impressed a lot of people. He had a really good 40-timer and a 4.3 340, which is blazing fast. There's also a viral photo of him where he just looks huge. He looks like a bodybuilder. Supposedly, DK Metcalf has 1.9% body fat. I mean, the guy looks shredded. He looks like a bodybuilder. He's massive. And he's 6'3", which means he's fast. He's tall. He looks like a bodybuilder. He looks the part. DK Metcalf looks great. And everybody's falling in love with DK Metcalf. They're saying that DK Metcalf might be a first-round pick. He's really good. And I just don't buy it. I'm not sold on DK Metcalf at all. I think we need to slow down and really take a deep breath and completely analyze, is he actually a great prospect? Is he really the guy you want to be signing if you're an NFL team? Because I look at DK Metcalf and I see a guy who got hurt in 2018. In 2018, DK Metcalf only played 7 games. He hurt his neck and was out for the rest of the year. And that's not even the first time he's had a major injury cut one of his seasons short. Previously, in 2016, DK Metcalf broke his foot in September and missed the entire year. Second game of the season, broke his foot, missed the rest of the season. Here's what's really concerning about DK Metcalf. In 3 seasons at Ole Miss, he only played 21 games. It's not great. And even more bizarre is he didn't exactly dominate when he was playing. In 2017, he played in 12 games and only had 39 catches. I say only. That's solid. That's not amazing, but that's an okay year. But that's not dominating. That's not the top of college football. And in 2018, he played 7 games and had 26 catches. That's good. It's fine. About 3.5 catches a game. I look at DK Metcalf and I go, nah, he's okay. He's not bad. He's not awful, but he's not. I don't see Julio Jones or DeAndre Hopkins. I don't see DK Metcalf as a number 1 first-round pick, the top wide receiver, not only in the NFL draft, but not a number 1 wide receiver on an NFL team. I don't see it. I'm not with everybody else. And so I asked my buddy Nathan Hawthorne. He's been on the show before. He was a Division I wide receiver. If you listen to the podcast regularly, you've heard him before. And so I asked Nathan, what do you think of DK Metcalf? He sent me his notes. He sent me a lot of thoughts. And basically, Nathan said that DK Metcalf gets away with really lazy and bad technique because he's so big, because he's 6'3", he's jacked, he can push people around, and it's not going to work in the NFL. His technique isn't up to snuff because he's gotten away with bad habits for years. He's also an average route runner. He's not crisp. He doesn't run in great, amazing routes like you need to see in the NFL. He's not great at catching in traffic. When bodies are all around him, he doesn't catch, like on a slant with bodies around him, he doesn't catch it. Now, the one thing that DK Metcalf does really, really well, he's a really good vertical threat. You want a guy running deep down the field, running a streak? That's what you want him for. He can go up, he can jump over people and make catches. That is DK Metcalf's strength. He's a really good deep threat. But otherwise, he's an average wide receiver. He's not the guy I would draft as the first receiver drafted in a normal NFL draft. He's not Julio Jones. He's not DeAndre Hopkins. We're falling in love with a guy who's, frankly, he's fine. Not amazing. And then my buddy Nathan used a term called stumbled quickness. I didn't know what that meant. I had to ask him. What that means is that DK Metcalf is quick, but he often rushes himself. He kind of stumbles out of the gate, and loses his footing because he's in a hurry rather than being fluid and smooth. He ran a really bad shuttle time. DK Metcalf is not a smooth, incredible athlete. He's a guy who's fast in one direction and really strong. That's not exactly what you want. And frankly, look at Jerry Rice or Antonio Brown. They're not the best athletes on the field. They have the best body control. They have the best hands. That's not what DK Metcalf has at all. So DK Metcalf is a freak of nature, right? He's a great athlete. He has a lot of potential. But potential is only valuable if you use it. And he certainly could develop into a great NFL wide receiver. But currently, that's simply not what DK Metcalf is. So I'm not sold on the guy. I know a lot of people are. I look at him and I see a project. He's not a polished wide receiver ready to play week 1 in the NFL. He's not going to have an impact week 1. He's like those unbaked cookies in the oven. He's not ready. He looks good on the outside. He looks fantastic. And upon closer inspection, you realize, oh, DK Metcalf might look really good, but he's not ready. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to ask for your help. I want this show to grow. I want more people to watch and more people to listen to this podcast. My dream is to do this show as my full-time job. I want to own it myself. I want to do it on the internet and have complete control. I don't want to do it for CBS or ESPN. I don't want to work for a big network. I want to own it myself. And if you believe in that dream, please do me a huge favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share a link on Twitter, maybe you screenshot it, put it on Instagram. I don't have a marketing strategy beyond this. This is all I have. You know, a lot of people, one of the most common comments I get on YouTube is, you have great content. We love your stuff. You deserve more viewers. What you should do is you should buy ad spaces on Facebook or Twitter or promote yourself and buy ads. I have no money. I am a broke college kid. I can't buy ad spaces. I don't have money to pay for books. And so my plan, this is my marketing plan. This is my strategy. All I plan to do is put every ounce of effort I have into making the very best podcast I can. I believe if I make a great product that people believe in, that people like, then they will share it with their friends. And so if you agree with that, if you believe in the show, if you like what I do, please do me a huge favor. Tell your friends about it. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.